We want to get to something else because we just had some headlines coming out from Vice President Mike Pence. He's speaking at the Wilson Center in Washington. And he just moments ago went after the NBA, saying the NBA is acting like a wholly owned subsidiary of China. He also criticized Nike for, I guess, a lack of being vocal on the Hong Kong situation as well. Dan, you have written extensively about reputational risk among companies.
Yeah.
What do you make of Pence weighing in on this?
Well, this story just will not go away. Sorry, Adam Silver. And, to be fair, the NBA, after its initial reaction, which did appear to many to be kind of a kowtowing to China, backtracked and basically said, we stand by Daryl Morey. We will never monitor what our executives or players say. We will never be, a league that battens down on free speech. And so Adam Silver also came out and got in trouble last week with the Chinese business partners when he said that China business partners of the NBA demanded that Morey be fired, and that Silver and the NBA said, we're not going to fire him. Then, of course, Chinese regulators came out and said, well, now we're angry that he said that because we didn't say that. But absolutely it's plausible that they said that, and they wanted him fired. But this story won't go away. Ted Cruz was also scoring easy points yesterday in an interview with our editor-in-chief in D.C., saying, shame on the NBA. But then Andy Serwer, our editor-in-chief, correctly said, well, wait a minute, they stood by him after. And Cruz said, yes, eventually they did.
Can we take a step back? Isn't there a political component to this? Pay no attention to those hearings taking place and the inquiry over on Capitol Hill, because they're beating up on the NBA. We've seen this administration beat up on the NFL at the beginning of the Trump presidency. And oh, by the way, why aren't you beating up on Apple and Tim Cook and what they recently did? They're not.
Well, and by the way, the administration itself has not been particularly vocal on Hong Kong, has it?
I don't think so.
Have they been putting pressure on China over Hong Kong?
Absolutely
Not at all.
Not that I don't recall any kind of sanctions.
Trump had a couple tweets that were seen as kind of not friendly to the Hong Kong protesters at all. Very kind of pro-China, which was like, wait a minute, we're in a trade war. The whole story here is politics. I mean, the larger story is more scrutiny than ever, and I think more awareness from the average person of American businesses doing business in China and how they conduct themselves and what are they willing to give up in order to tap that huge market.
Would it be feasible for the NBA, with as huge a market as China is, to say, we're going to take a breather for a couple of years?
No, you can't do that, right? I mean, China is a massive market, right? So that would be, I don't know, I wouldn't do it if it was me.
Especially when you've already made the step. It's one thing if you haven't entered the market already. It's another thing if you're already there.
Oh, absolutely.
Pull back.
Right. You can't really pull back, right?
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.